Okay, welcome to day 103. Hey, I want to talk to you about my Starbucks experience. Sunday, after we got done running 4 miles, I run every Sunday at 6 o'clock, 6:15 actually. I leave the house at 6, get to the running place. I run at DeLacy Park at 6:15 every Sunday morning before church. Afterwards, I stop by Starbucks, not because I want coffee for myself, but because one of my wife's love languages is gifts. So I stopped by Starbucks, she loves Starbucks, and I get her a coffee of the day. So I went to Starbucks, and normally I carry $50 bills, $20 bills, but generally on Sunday mornings I'm down to only 50s. And this is Starbucks, and Starbucks is not the cheapest place to buy a cup of coffee. My bill that morning was $14, almost $15, and I paid with a $50 bill. Well, the lady that took the $50 bill, she said, "I can't make change for this." So I asked her, "What are you going to be able to do about that?" And she said, "Sir, I can't accept this 50 because I don't have any way to make change." So I asked her again, "What are you going to do about it?" It shouldn't be my problem for Starbucks to be able to make change for a $50 bill. No matter what it is, it shouldn't be my problem. Starbucks should be accommodated. I figure the cost of the total purchase was less than $3 to Starbucks, and here I'm a regular customer that comes in every Sunday morning and generally pay with a $50 bill. They have a cash policy, and I understand their cash policy. They don't want to be robbed, and if they get robbed, of course, on Sunday morning at 7 o'clock, I think the chances are pretty low that they're going to get robbed. But I said, "May I speak to the manager?" First she said, "Would you like to put it on a credit card?" My answer is no, I don't want to put it on a credit card. I want to pay cash for my coffee. So the manager came over and she explained to me that she could not make change for a $50 bill also. And I asked her a couple of times, "What do you mean by that?" And she finally said, "If I make change for your $50 bill, it's going to have to be in small bills," which is fine for me because I need those small bills for the rest of the transactions throughout the day, so that really meets my need. She could break the $50 bill. She'd be giving me $35 in change because I was paying approximately $15 for the coffee. But I left Starbucks not feeling good about me, not feeling good about Starbucks. I thought, they're not trying to address the customer's issue at all, and I'm thinking about my rights. Now, when I'm thinking about my rights and you violated my rights, I'm upset. But what I really need to do is see if I can change my focus. I'm going to be at Starbucks every Sunday for my wife. The reason why I'm going to Starbucks is for my wife. It's not about me, which is a very important thing to remember. It's not about us. It's about our Creator and other people. It's about how we're worshiping or how we're living the way that God wants us to, and how we're influencing other people in a positive way. So I thought about it. What could I do in my system so that I could be accommodating to the people at Starbucks? And what I decided to do was I decided to make sure on Sunday mornings there is a $20 bill so that I can pay for my coffee at Starbucks. I made an adjustment with me. I can't control Starbucks, so I can make, adjustments can I make for me? Now, I'm reading a book, and the book is called, and I don't like the title of the book, but I sure like the content of the book. The title of the book is about negotiation. The title of the book is Never Split the Difference. I don't like that title. Sometimes it feels like we need to split the difference. We need to move that direction, but this guy was a negotiator for the FBI. And what he did was he was brought in on situations where it was life or death, where there was a hostage situation. So he didn't want to split the difference, which I understand that. Because if you split the difference, there might be somebody that dies. But in the book, here's what I want to leave with you, is that he talked about the importance of listening. And I have a tendency when you're talking, sometimes before the person I'm engaged in a conversation with finishes their sentence, I finish the sentence for them. I move on with my agenda. I am not listening to be empathetic, to understand their feelings. Most of us make decisions on our feelings and not on logic. So the first thing I want to practice is I want to practice listening completely through someone's sentence and then being comfortable with the silence. Because if I'm comfortable with the silence, there's a very good chance that they're going to pick up and they're going to go deeper into their feelings and they're going to let me know more about what their needs are. The second thing I found interesting in this book is when I ask a question, not giving them the answer to the question. I ask the question, I'm comfortable with the silence, allowing them to process the question to be able to give me an answer. A lot of times I'll say, like for instance to Leslie, do you want to go to dinner? There's a silence, she's processing, and I'll say, we could go, and I start giving her ideas, and she's still trying to process the original question. And when I do that, I eliminate her creativity maybe to pick a restaurant or an establishment I've not been to. So the first thing is, when people are talking, I want to develop the habit of letting them finish what they're saying before I respond to it and be comfortable with the silence. When I ask somebody a question, let them answer the question without my input. Another thing I want you to understand about negotiating, this happened to me just last week. I spent an hour with one of my leaders here at the company. So we were together for an hour. We started at 10 o'clock. At 10:59, he asked me a question and he wanted me to give him a decision. He took 59 minutes for everything else, but during the last 1 minute, that was the real true issue that he wanted to talk about. It's called the doorknob close. When someone's leaving your office, have you ever noticed that they'll wait until they get to the door to ask the real question? I realized right then he was doing the doorknob close on me, and I could have given him a decision right then, but I really felt like there needed to be more discussion than just answering his question. But it had to do with his pay. He went 59 minutes without asking the question about his pay, and in the last minute he came back to, what did you think about, what consideration did you put in whether or not I get a pay raise? So quickly I realized I was being closed with the doorknob close, and I said, let's discuss it next week. Because next week we've got a full hour to talk about it. Let's put that on the agenda at the beginning so that we can look at all the reasons, the pluses, the minuses. What is his true intent? A lot of us would just say he just wants more money. That's generally not the reason. Why do we want more money? What is the money going to be used for? How is it going to improve his standard of life? Watch YouTube videos that educate you. If you've never watched TED, T-E-D, I would recommend you look into the TED Talks on YouTube. Go to ted.com if you want to just go directly to some of the videos, some of the talks. They're very inspirational, but they're also very educating. They make us think. Thank you for tuning in today. If you would like, please sign up, Tom Pace Mentor. Please subscribe to our website. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you very much.